Why don't you support M23? Or why is the question, you support M23 or you don't support M23? First of all, what is M23?
Hello, my good people. My name is David Juma, and today I want to share with you a story about the M23. We have heard that the M23 are fighting with the government of Congo, and we don't know what the fight was for. So today, stay tuned. I want to share with you a story about M23. Who are these M23s? M23s are said to be an organization born in and out of Congo. So these are Congolese. And what are they fighting for? They are fighting because they have been denied their rights and refers them as the people of Rwanda. Let's listen to the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. What is he saying about the M23s?
I would ask them why they actually don't support M23 themselves, including AFP, you as a journalist. Why don't you support M23? Or why is the question, you support M23 or you don't support M23? First of all, what is M23? M23 is an organization born in and out of Congo. That's number one. Number two, these are Congolese. And you will hear even Congo admit it now. Why do they exist? Why are they fighting? Why do they have arms? Is another question. It is also a simple question. They exist because they have been denied their rights as citizens of that country. They are called Tutsis of Rwanda. Fine. But then you need to be educated also a little bit about history. We have Rwandan communities in Congo who are Congolese, and by the way, these are not just Tutsis. It is the same social structure of a country that is also there in Congo. Like, in fact, we have other neighboring countries where they are, but they are citizens of those countries. We have 100,000 people originating from this community, 100,000 who have been living here in Rwanda in refugee camps for the last 2 decades. Why? Because they are being uprooted from their ancestral homes, persecuted, and sent across. In fact, there are more in Uganda. There are 300, there's 100,000 here, there are hundreds of thousands there in Uganda, more numbers. So M23 is born out of that situation. That's why I asked the question. I said, well, why wouldn't anybody else, why are we being accused as Rwanda of supporting M23? And I'm saying even those who accuse us, actually I should accuse them of not supporting M23 because it is as if they agree with the injustice that is being done to this community. Otherwise, if you didn't agree with that injustice, you would be actually raising questions. Why these people of M23 being treated like this? Why are we having 100,000 refugees here in Rwanda? That's where you would start from. Not start from asking Rwanda, are you supporting M23 or not? Are you still denying it? Because you are asking the wrong question. The issue is not whether anybody supports M23 or not. The issue is, what is actually the problem of M23? That's the question you should have asked, in fact. What is the problem? What is this thing called M23? Are they human beings? Are they this? Are they Rwandans? Are they Congolese? Are they that? Why? Why do they exist? Why do they even have arms and are fighting in their own country? This is the right question that I should be asked. So whether Rwanda supports or associated in any way is actually immaterial. It is relevant to the question. Or even you, if you want to educate yourself or educate the public, the question should have been simple. Ask me, by the way, what do you understand the M23 to be? What is it? That's a fair question. That's the one I would wish to be associated with rather than whether I support or not support.
Now with this war continuing, it might affect the government day-to-day activities which they create revenue from and helping the government to continue with their daily activities. According to Paul Kagame's thoughts, he's saying that the president of Congo needs to come out and ask the M23 what are they fighting for, to come up with the solutions so that they can finish this war, because when they continue fighting, the other citizens are the ones that are suffering. The most one who are suffering in this fight are mothers and children. So the government of Congo and the leader of M23 needs to come up with a solution to solve this fight. So if this continue, they might end up causing many things to stagnate, and this may cause residents of Congo to suffer more. And this might end up causing so many refugees. And that is not a good thing from a country that is still growing. So let's listen to a man of wisdom who is Pierre Lumumba.
Understood that Congo, like most African countries, are victims of the arbitrary boundaries that were created in Berlin. People never remember this as often as they should. But the conference that was held in Berlin in 1884 and 1885 was actually known as the Congo Conference. It was at the behest of King Leopold of the Belgians to deal with the question of Congo, and that is how the partition then came about, in order to give people spheres of influence so that the European powers would not fight one another as they extracted things from the Congolese people.
According to Pierre Lumumba, he's saying that the M23s are from Congo. Let's continue listening from him.
Now, why do I say it is complex, and why do I say that the boundaries are also part of the problem? Because of the arbitrariness with which the boundaries were drawn, you now find different ethnicities across borders. Take, for example, Rwanda and Urundi, what was known as Rwanda and Urundi. You find people who were described as Tutsis and Hutus, and you find also a large population of the Tutsis, sometimes referred to as the Banyamulenge, who are in Congo, so that they are Congolese.
So Pierre Lumumba is saying that the M23s are Congolese, are not Rwandese, because of the boundaries. You know, boundaries, mipaka. Let's continue listening to the man of wisdom.
They are not Rwandese on the basis of the boundaries that we have. Nyerere, the former president of Tanzania, actually during the early days in 1970, when he was asked to mediate, said, when we talk about the Tutsi in Congo, they are not Rwandese, they are Congolese, according to the boundaries that we inherited. And for that reason, it is incumbent upon the governments and administrations in Congo to treat them as Congolese. The fact that they have their kith and kin in Burundi and in Rwanda does not make them Rwandese or Burundians. And he made this example, he gave this example. For example, the Maasai in Kenya and the Maasai in Tanzania, they are Maasais, but they are those who by dint of the boundaries are now Kenyans and others Tanzanians. And that is yet another conflict. It is a conflict which has given birth to what is now known as the M23. The M23 are people of Tutsi origin who are Congolese. But they are now being told, no, you are not Congolese, you are Rwandese, and that is why you see the frequent accusations that the Rwandese government is supporting them, and the frequent denials by the Rwandese administration that they are not supporting them.
So, Pierre Lumumba is saying that the Congo government need to treat M23 as Congolese. So that does not make them to be Rwandese. According to different sources of media, are saying that the M23s, they have been denied their rights. That's why they have stood up and start fighting for their rights, because they are people of Congo. They need to be treated as other Congolese. They are not refugees from other countries that they have run for their safety. So the government of Congo needs to come up with a solution, or needs to call the M23 leader and have a dialogue to solve this fight, because if this fight continues, they might end up causing so many problems, and that is not good for a government that is still growing. So the government of Congo, we are asking you to come up with a solution and stop this fight, because women and children are suffering more, and the infrastructure of the country is dropping day by day. So the president of Congo, we are requesting, come up with a solution and solve this. And that is our prayer. My name is David Juma. Continue subscribing and sharing.